Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura, working for Diddy for years and eventually becoming a friend of Cassie's. In 2010, Mylah alleges that she heard Cassie being physically abused and was a witness to the aftermath of the alleged attack. She joins me now. Mylah, thank you so much for being here. This has been, for so many people, illuminating, infuriating, troubling, devastating. You can go down the list of things, but it's so difficult to speak about.
I know.
Being a witness of anything. Tell me how you must be feeling just knowing that this has even come to light.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010, and I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety and bringing her to my house. So that's kind of like what transpired from that night. And once she came out of the room, she was badly, beaten.
Oh my God! What did her physical appearance look like?
I mean, it was knots on her head, black eye, busted lip, but a lot of knots all over her head.
Did she go to the police at that point or anything?
No, we didn't know what to do at that point because, Puffy is a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. So I just, brought her to my house, and my friend who is a doctor, I called her, and thank God she was in town because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really, it was painful to see Cassie like that because she's such a beautiful human being. And for a man to just hurt any sort of woman or child or animal, it doesn't matter. But Cass is a good friend of mine, and I just felt, so I just didn't know what to do. I felt like, I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe how she was feeling about having that happen? Did you get a sense that this was the first time?
It didn't feel like it. Because it wasn't, it was almost like, I feel like she might have been embarrassed that happened in front of me.
But the incident that you're talking about even predates what we saw in this horrific video from a hotel floor. When that video came out, what did it feel like knowing that had now been public?
No, I was devastated when I saw that video because it was like I witnessed what could have happened in that room and more, So that was a hallway incident. Who knows what happened, in that room when I was outside of there. And I was devastated. Actually, I've been devastated since the court cases came out and how, he mistreated Cassie.
He has settled the suit involving her specifically, but there are others, and there are sources that are telling CNN that the majority of the people currently suing Diddy are actually speaking to federal investigators, which indicates the Justice Department might be moving close to an indictment. So do you think that Cassie would testify against him if federal investigators asked her to or compelled her to?
I'm really not sure. Like I said, I can't speak for Cass, but I hope she does.
About the incident that happened at Sunset Boulevard, Roger Bond said that Diddy hit Cassie out of nowhere. He didn't know exactly what provoked him that day. but he pushed her inside his car. And they were fighting inside. And he took her later to the London hotel. Diddy continued to beat her up and even hit her in her face. She stayed there for a week, and she lied to her mother and told the assistant. Diddy told the assistant to buy a bunch of gifts to pacify her, and there were a lot of other people who collaborated that story. Cassie had she had a lot of bruises on her, and you saw the video that also was on the CNN, where the beauty makeup assistant that went to cover up the bruises with makeup shared all those scary stuff that she heard happen to Cassie. So, but despite all the injuries and everything, it was a week later Cassie went back to her abuser. Why did the reporter asked Bond, why did you not report all of this? It's so easy for some people to ask people that are third parties to abuse, why did they not stick out their neck? And Bond had this reply. He says, I was able to diffuse the situation. I stayed because I knew I can make a difference and save her life, by like that day that it stood between them. So I stayed so that I can continue to help her. Roger Bond says that the reason I didn't leave is the same reason that Cassie didn't leave, and then he explained that he had just come out of jail. I was afraid of manipulation, who was big enough to go against Diddy or blackmail him, So he said that he was afraid of, the retaliation, because what will happen? Diddy can get him, disappear, just like he did so many other people, or make him not able to find job anywhere, by threatening whoever was willing, because at that time people did not know who they were dealing with, the monster that we all know he is now. And also he said that he was in jail, so he didn't have a lot of opportunities, and he didn't want to miss that.